It's gonna be a good one. Tell your friends, give me a second. Get everything set up and we're gonna be starting in a second. Houston, we have liftoff. I repeat, we have liftoff. uh, everything set all up. After the message, I'll share the literature with everyone that everyone can get today. I'll share the, actually, before I do the message, I'll share the literature. I'll share what everybody can get today for your donation. Let me turn the camera around. So I'm going on Amazon to see how much these books cost. So today, your $40 donation, by not only viewing a lecture, you can get the PDF book. Like I said, you can send the email to Office Max or Staple. They'll bind it like this. I used to bind them and print them for Moors. I just don't have time dealing with cheap Moors all day with complaining. But for your $40 donation today to Cash App $KGBay, make sure you leave your email address in there so you can get fast delivery of your PDF books. For your $40 donation today, you get white cargo. You also get Peter Lambert Wilson, The Sacred Drift. And you also receive Stolen Legacy, Greek philosophy and stolen Egyptian philosophy. And you get all three of these books today for only a $40 donation. Very simple. Very simple. So with that being said, let's get to a little history today. When I always talk about history, and I like to show things for people and give people a clear example of what history is about, and for you can make a conscious decision as an adult. And when the lecture is over, I'll share the books again for you that you can get for your donation. So the first thing I want to talk about is On Crest. That's like a lot of times I show documents when I say history is only one history. David McRitchie even talked about this in these two books here, Ancient and Modern Britons. And you don't have to buy the hard copies. You can go right on mypdfbooks.com, books with the Z. You can download the books on your tablet, send an email to Office Max or Staples, and then print it and bind it. And you don't have to pay all that money for books. But like I said, after I do the lecture today, I'll have 3 books that you'll be able to get for only a small $40 donation. And this is how you can join the lectures and build your library. It's very simple. On Crest, family crest. When I always tell you, Europeans always agree with what I'm saying because there's scholarship, and we do this in academia, and nothing is hidden. And everyone agreed with this science, except us. You know, when we talk about history and scholars that done the work. And when they talk about all this history in the late 13th and early 14th century, and the use in family and institutional crest at that time, and it most likely reflected the spread of the imagery of the Huntsmen, the emperors, as in Saint Maurice, the Moors, and the black magas, in which black figures stood in for the universalist pretensions of the church and the empire. I'm telling y'all, man, they don't want to show real history and conquest and reconquest. When I tell people, stop letting people get you caught up in them false narratives. And from the early 15th century, in the context of increasing conflicts against Muslims in the Iberian, the Balkan, and the Anatolian peninsulas, and in the context of European maritime exploration and participation in global trade, including in African slaves, just like one of the books, Lewis and Clark. They tell you what they saw. Black figures began to take on a more fantastical, exotic, and degrading features. They appear as monstrous, conjure enemies, or noble savages, serving as symbols of military accomplishment, commercial success, or conspicuous luxury. In this period, black figures became a more common heraldic feature across the German lands. See, this is history. And over the course of the 19th and the 20th centuries, these devices were incorporated into advertising and commercial brands, often in caricature forms. Watch, hold on, let me see. Sorry. I had to come back. I had to grab some literature as I'm demonstrating. So as you see, I'm going to show you pictures. Over the course of the 19th and 20th century, these devices were incorporated into advertising and commercial brands, often in caricature forms. Just like when I show y'all, that's at the Jim Crow Museum. When I show you all that stuff, I'm going to show you the books and everything, and I'll show y'all what they thought about you. And this is in the history books. When I say all this stuff is here for education, we can't be arguing over things that shouldn't even be argued about. These are the crests of the Pope Benedict. See that? This is this is the wolf scale crest on the tomb of Bishop Otto II of Wolfsburg, this Europe, circa 1333. See? I hope y'all see what y'all looking at. Wolf scale crest, circa 1450, 1580. I tell you, when I show you all through history, when I say scholarship and a copy copied you, that's no disrespect or no slander. All educators know exactly what I'm saying. Just like when I talk about the Whigham Party and all of them inaugurated, they were inaugurated by certain figures. It's just a whitewashing his history. Just like one of my ancient books is called Russian Icons by Vladimir Ivanov. They try to sell a book for a couple grand, but I got like a lot of copies from my elders. I got some of my connections from Harvard, Cambridge, and Oxford, and they have Gnostic libraries in the basement. And I just be, calling these peoples and the librarians, and I be getting all these books that Amazon be trying to charge for thousands because they know who I am, and it's just what it is. And it's no slander. History is recorded. History is recorded, man. Like I said, I don't get into arguing with people. You should know who you are from your family. But when it comes to history and paintings, most people don't know. They only get shown what people shown. But a lot of this stuff is in museums, and a lot of stuff has been tomb raided and whitewashed. Just like the god Artemis. Like when I show you how they whitewashed it. It's a lot of things that's just been whitewashed. And that was a part of history. It's in the biblical scriptures in Maccabees, how the heathen, the Gentile, tried to whitewash themselves in the history books. That ain't me saying that. Look at that. Look at the hair. Look at the ear. Look at the ear. Look at the nose, the face, the features. And you go all over the world, Mexico, everywhere. Same shit. Look at all up in the buildings, the Moors, when you blow it up. And then if you want more information, the crest of the Kingrich family and the crest of the Freezing, Zurich, Wallerplows. Just like when I show you Empress Elbe, Washita, the Tunic Elbe, and I show you how Tunic was changed to Turner, Washita was changed to Washington. I mean, when I talk about the Whigham Party, all that stuff. A lot of Moors are not initiated, and we be letting Freemasons, I don't care what color they are, black, orange, purple, green, get you caught up in spookism. And that's what destroy people when you get to talk about some fake ass aliens, some Anunnaki, and that ain't nothing but the Iberians. It's just facts. We talk about this on the college campus, man. This ain't new science. When people talk about something hidden, how is something hidden? It's in the history books, collecting dust. You want more information on St. Maurice, on the city of Crest of Zikwa? I mean, I can open it up for you. You want to see more results? Here go the picture. Crest of Kirkberg family and the crest of Friesig. Let me open it up for you. Crown Moors on Crest, circa 1263, 1400. A black woman holding a lily, symbol of the Holy Trinity, has adorned the crest of the Kirkberg family, at least since 1263. Zurcher, Wapero, circa 1335, 1345. Zurich, Schwarzenritz, and National Museum. It's all in there. When I tell you these people be naming themselves after you, not vice versa. Just like God name, like the Ish, like Tanisha and all those names has God in them. And everybody know what I'm saying. A crown Moor had featured in the crest of the Archbishop of Frisching since at least 1284, perhaps because of a Kirkberg family connection, a connection to the Crusades, or simply an illustration mistake. Zurich Ruloff, 1335, 1345. Come on, man, look. coat of arms of Pope Benedict, including the crown Moor from his home, Archbishop Freezing, Porter, Michael, Drawski, coat of arms of Pope Benedict. Come on, man. The crest of Papillema family and the city that bears their name. Look, featured a black king in the 14th century, but that figure morphed into a black queen for reasons that remain unclear. South Germany, circa 1450, 1580. It's in their museums. Research it. Nobody have to be arguing with nobody. And I'm not saying everybody is this or everybody in the world have to identify as that. But I'm saying it's no reason to be arguing with things with your own brothers and sisters if they don't know. Let me see something. Empress. Hold on. Let me show y'all something real fast too. What's my what you call it?
What's up?
To get on here again, I logged out.
You logged out?
Type it back in. Write it down. Let me write down the piece of paper. All right, let me show y'all one more thing too. I just wanted to show y'all a couple little things. I'm gonna show two quick ones. So this one I'll be talking about the Netherlands and blackface, when people know about exactly what I'm talking about, and as you do scholarship. So history confirms that the Moors ruled in Europe, primarily Spain and Portugal, for almost 700 years. So when you see the Moors that ruled Spain or the Jews that ruled Spain, same people. When you talk about the war of Ferdinand and Isabella, you have to really know what that's about. You have to really know what those words mean when those military guys be singing that. That's why I be telling people it's all a setup from the jump. Even though the Moors were African foreigners in a new continent, they included European culture. But many know that the Moors were Europeans of African descent. Please stay in context. If a person understands what I'm saying, stay in context. This is not for arguing or debate. You got to stay in context and be like, oh, I get it. If you don't, then I will hope you, at least I encourage you to study and come to class where you can have things to compare to and contrast. They have a controversial celebration during Christmas where the Dutch put soup on their face, a large curly afro, and bright red lipstick to resemble a character named Swarty Pyatt. I call Black Pete. Moreover, the earliest known illustration of Swarty Pyatt or Swarty Pete was done by Amsterdam school teacher Jan Snickman, who depicted the character as a black Moor from Spain. The reason for the controversy derives from the history of blackface, that the U.S. was notorious for the Reconstruction era, where it was used heavily in minstrel shows. I'm gonna show y'all this. This is in the Jim Crow Museum. I'm gonna take students there too. It's in Michigan. I'm gonna show you what they show you. I got so many books on it, and I'll show y'all. This is history. So when people be telling you this black stuff, they the ones that's playing the game with you, not me. Because everybody in the first century and things, they show you what they saw. I don't know what people talking about. And these all European writers. I ain't even got in our scholars. You know, and it was where it used heavily in minstrel shows. So by the Dutch doing this, it would be seen as irreverent to the mockery black people enduring that era. Moors were usually depicted as being very dark, and the words Moors were used interchangeably with Negro, according to the Oxford Dictionary. Yes, according to modern dictionaries. In regards to this, several written works can confirm this description. 16th century English playwrights William Shakespeare used the word Moor as a synonym for African, and Christopher Marlowe used Moor and African interchangeably. Just like when I tell y'all, what's the damn writer name? Shit, y'all. Mark Twain. Mark Twain. Okay, when Mark Twain was a writer, poet in the first century, and when he was writing, he would call in misnomer Negro, blacks, and colored, Negro, blacks, and colored. And people like that was derogatory. So he said, okay, well, I'll just call you NBC slaves. Same shit. Research it. Author and historian Chancellor Williams said the original Moors, like the original Egyptians, were black Africans. Just like when you see gypsies, and the modern ones, if you a historian, they tell you, yes, the black gypsies, black ass gypsies. Just because someone's there don't mean that you're a native of that land. And we just dealing with ancient and modern Britons and ancient and modern Arabs, not A-R-A-B, but A-R-A-P. This is a fact. And Arab chronicler also described Moorish Emperor Yusuf bin Tifani as a brown man with woolly hair. European art depicts Moors with African features. And I'm going to use quotes on this because Africa is such a diverse continent that has ethnic groups with an array of features and not a singular one. Just like when I talk about Bantu, Zulu, all of the different groups of people. Having said that, Moors were often depicted having pitch black skin, frizzled hair, flat and wide face, flat noses, and thick lips. The Drake jewel, a rare document piece of jewel from the 16th century, seemed to show a profile of a black king dominating the profile of a white woman. Research what I'm saying. Moors have a significant contribution to the world because they contributed in areas of mathematics, astronomy, art, cuisine, medicine. Just like when I be showing y'all stuff. And these is one of the books you can get, Stolen Legacy. When school, they be talking about some Socrates and Plato and Aristotle. Well, that's crap. That's stolen legacy. Socrates and Plato and Aristotle wasn't no greatest thinkers in the world. They ain't learned nothing from where they went. They went to the continent of Africa, Egypt, etc. And not only when they went there, they were killed for what they knew for going against the church. These is keys. We ain't grew up in no caves. I'll let the caveman have that, if that's what they say. I'm not arguing with no caveman. I'm not. And I'm not going to be out here acting stupid neither. This in turn helped develop Europe to move out of the Dark Ages into the Renaissance. We didn't have a Dark Age. That was their time, the Dark Ages. And they got out the Dark Ages into the Renaissance ages. We talk about different dispensations. This is real history. I did this in college. I had professors everywhere sitting there listening. Generations of Spanish rulers went as far as to abolish the existence of the Moors era from historical records and dismiss the Moors making any impact on the Spain, the land. However, archaeology determined that Moors indeed ruled in Al-Andalus for more than 700 years, from 711 AD to 1492. Right? I mean, there is no slander and hate. When we be talking about things, man, if we're going to talk about books and things, then a person should be able to provide them for you. So you don't got to go pay the money that you'll pay for one book. You can get all these 3 books that I just showed for the donation, for a $40 donation. White Cargo, Stolen Legacy, and Exhuming and Peter Lambert Wilson, Sacred Drift, $40 donation. But every book we have PDF. I'm going to show one more document. I think I got one more for y'all. Let me see. Uh-oh. I hope I ain't log out again, y'all. I got so many email addresses and stuff. Let me see. I think I got one more for you. If not, I can show you something else. Oh, okay. I'm back in. Cute. Let's see. Let me see. What's this one? Oh, okay. I'll show you that one. Hold on. I got one more that my little nephew was wanted me to. I think I got it in here. Let me see. I think this might be it, y'all. Let's see. Nope. I think I showed them all to you. I think I showed them all to you. Oh, I think, okay. Boom. Okay, now here go something similar to the same thing when I be talking about Santa Claus. Santa Claus, Satan Claus, per se. You see? What's all that about? And they dress up as what? There ain't nobody went down no chimney and they got dirty. Come on. Come on. Once again, the annual Dutch tradition of Zwarte Piet or Black Pete arrives with Christmas holiday. And it's also followed in Belgium and Luxembourg. You got the Dutch tradition is that Sinterklaas or Saint Nicholas arrives in the Netherlands from Spain each November for a visit that cultivates him delivering gifts and candy to well-behaved children on the night of December the 5th before heading back to Spain. But yeah, right, that ain't what it's all about. The Santa Claus celebration continued to be the center of a debate about racism in the Netherlands because Santa Claus, white European helpers, are in blackface to represent the Black African Moors who once ruled over the Iberian Peninsula. And they're going to try to always tell you some Iberians, some goddamn aliens and shit. Excuse my candor. Dude, I ain't gonna. What you mean, where to go? I mean, no, I'm a teacher and a scholar. That's just like asking a teacher and be like, "What school should I go to?" And they represent a school and a university. If my members on here, they'd be like, "You talking to the sheik like you should become a member and student." I don't have a quick way. I don't have a microwave. I don't have a quick fix. It ain't nothing I can sell you to be wise. It ain't nothing I can do to make you this. It's what's within. And that's why I tell us the type of Islam we teach is I'm a tasawwuf and I'm a teacher and a map and a guide. I understand all facets of Islam, but I'm a teacher as well. So when people ask me, what should I read in this, I can tell a person to read a book or read down a Stolen Legacy. And it might do something for them and it might not do something for that person. So it's no, I don't have, you know what I mean, no quick answer, if that may be the key. Or I don't have, what should I study? If everybody been following me like they say, they know I'm a teacher. They know I have Sunday school on Sundays. They know I have a DAP class on Saturdays. They know I teach business class. So that's the only thing I can have a person. So the next thing, if a person want to learn, it's contingent on them wanting to, how can I say, give up a couple of them dollars and sacrifice some of the things, the pleasurable things, if they want to learn and understand. Because I don't have a magic wand to get nobody out of jail. I go against all that. I go against all that fake magical stuff. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I go against all them fake prisoners, all that. I'm finna nationalize you. You finna sign some paperwork and you finna be some G.I. Joe, all that shit. No, I'm a true official. I have real businesses. I ain't dealing with no fake scam and no fake NFT fake shit. I don't do none of that shit. If I do real investments, I'm not gonna try to do it with a whole bunch of Moors and try to convince them of something they don't know. The first thing I would do is educate you on what you're doing first and have you make a sound decision. Decision you make might be like, man, after she educated me on this, I don't want to do that. Or just like a lot of people that I finance, that's an advisor that helped them with them finances, especially a lot of players that's getting money and signing contracts. I say, dude, you don't want me to be your financial advisor. You just want me to show you how to watch your own money. That's it. and then introduce me to your homeboys and show them how to do the same thing. I want to educate people and make a conglomerate. And that's what I tell people. If we're not willing to learn, it ain't nothing I can do. And I tell all these grown adult Moors that say, oh, there ain't no temple in my city. And I say, man, how long y'all been following me? I ask all grown men that. And just like one empress got on and said, Sheik, you ain't got to keep telling these grown men that over and over. If they want to go to university and anything on, they go online. It's just like anything they want to do, they do it online. They get scammed online. They talk about that one man that was going to get to school, and you actually got a school, and you actually teach kids, and you actually donate to single moms and kids and all that, and you actually travel on your own dime as an official, as a teacher, not just on Instagram. And I have a group of brothers and sisters. We get ready to have our 3rd annual Moorish Ball. Big fashion show. We do things in-house. Got companies, my nobles do web pages and everything, but let's get back to it. But that's the only way. The Santa Claus celebration continues to be the center of a debate that we were saying. And so I demonstrated that already. You can see how this happened all over the world, over Amsterdam and over Germany and all this, when people be telling you they don't know this and they don't have an idea of Moorish culture, or, excuse me, I'm drinking tea and everything, and other type of history. That's why a lot of times when I do lectures and teachings, when I speak on topics, I like to do those scheduled, because any other time when I'm just on here speaking, I like to get the information out to the people. And then I ask my brothers and sisters, do you study? They say, yeah. So I say, let me ask you a question. I play devil's advocate with everybody. I say, okay, let's play devil's advocate. I say, have you ever read Peter Lambert Wilson's Sacred Gift? A person will say, no, I want that book. And then a person will have to tell you to go to here or that platform to buy a hard copy. But I have my own company, mypdfbooks.com. And you can get the PDF way cheaper. And you can send an email to Office Master Staples, and they'll print it and bind it like this. Now, I have the machines. I used to bind them for my own brothers and sisters, but brothers used to try to scam. And then one brother tried to call his bank, but the bank called me, and he messed himself up because the bank was like, we already know what you're doing, sir, to the other guy. Talk about he didn't get his material. I already talked to the bank because I defend myself. I reserve my right. I'm a business. I tell people, when you come at me playing, I'm telling you I'm a business, and I'm going all the way there because I'm all the way legit. So the brother gonna try to ride his bank and say his products came damaged. I wrote his bank is like, this man ain't getting no physical copy. I'm a PDF book company. I supply books for not only for my own people, but for college students and everything. And I said I never had a problem doing books until I started dealing with niggas. And I said it in my complaint. I ain't saying no other way, and I put niggas in parentheses, and I meant that shit. I ain't saying no dirty more than I don't give a damn. I put that shit right in parentheses. I said the only time I start having problems is when I start selling books to niggas. I said, nobody tried to do me like this. College students that have a little bit of money, how much I be helping them so they ain't got to eat up their financial aid money for a book, and the professor only go use 3 fucking chapters, and I get them a $400 book PDF for like $20 or $30, and then they have it PDF, and they can print it and then give it to their friend, and they all be in a group, and they do their classes co-op. Man, please. You go on Amazon and look how much these are. And so when I ask for donation, when I do teachings, I provide these books. So 3 books you can get for a $40 donation. One of the books, Sacred Gift, Peter Lambert Wilson. If you go on Amazon, this is probably $100. And we have a DAP class every Saturday where I go over history and law and civics. A lot of it don't be recorded. Some of the stuff I just share for the people, but we be privately on Zoom with my tribe and my brothers and sisters and my mother and my father, some other Moors all over the country, because all my nobles in all different geographical areas. And we are privately on Zoom. So I don't have a magical wand like I tell people. Be careful of what you follow on Instagram. all that sovereign citizen shit. I'm finna expatriate from this de facto government. I drive without license. I'm some sovereign and some citizen at the same time. That's some oxymoron. Somebody talk about you finna get some passport or get some silver notes, and give it to the provost marshal, and you don't even know in certain your areas they got their right to work states where you talk about you some motherfucking overthrowing the government or anything like that. Man, they walk you out your job. And that's just a fact, man. So when I do lectures, if Morris got one book, I'm giving you people the opportunity to get 3 beautiful books for only a $40 donation. All these books I have on my company page where you don't have to go and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on books. I got them PDF. You can download them on your tablet. What more beauty is that? Most Moors ain't gonna read the shit anyway, because this book right here is 400 pages. I know Moors done had this book for years. I say, what's in the book? Oh, Moore, I ain't even read it. See, I know you a teacher, you read it. I said, dude, so why you got the book? Are you just gonna collect and be like, I got the book? None of that shit means nothing. And these books don't mean nothing either. None of this stuff mean nothing. But when we talk about history, when I say the spirit within, yes, you don't need books for the divine and its spiritual aspect. You just need a map and a guide. But history, and understand history, because history along spirituality that's synchronized, yes, you do need a map and a guide. Yes, you do need somebody to introduce you to this. I mean, why not? What else is life about? So you can have pride. Look, stories from the Jim Crow Museum. Watch this, man. And people be out here playing with us. And I got so many copies of things, man, and books. Look what's in the Jim Crow Museum. I done showed this a plethora of times. See them little black head dials? Colleges and shit go there. Look, this is what they think about you. This what this shit this what it is, man. So postcards and shit. Slap happy goofy shit. We out here hating on each other. That's why I said Negroes, yes sir, yes masters, and somebody get ready to, but then they'll be ready to kill their own brother. And I said, this shit is crazy. Moors, Hebrew Israelites, Muslims, they want to kill each other. Talk about somebody they don't agree with them. Nobody got to agree with what the hell you saying. And then with that fake goofy ass motherfucking arbitrary law, I say, man, y'all can play goddamn G.I. Joe and I don't know, and act like you brainwashed, and that shit don't work. That shit only in the military. And these ex-military people playing a joke on y'all. Point blank, I'm gonna continue to say that. And I've been telling people this shit from the day fucking one. And we just gonna sit there and play stupid. And like, oh, well, I know. Yes, you do know. How can you be that grown and be that fucking stupid? I mean, I got a plethora of these books, man. So when people talk about, I don't gotta read no book and all that, we ain't telling nobody about no. I'm talking about historical things for your children, for they can see, for they don't be going to call themselves Negro, Black, Color, African American, all those misnomers, so they can understand exactly what history speaks of, so they can be proud of who they are. What they thought about you. I wonder where my easy ride is going. Shelton Brooks, words and music. Y'all ain't even seen nothing yet. Look at all this early. I'm finna start. Let me get to some good stuff. But that's like my people from Florida, gator bait and all that shit. That shit wasn't fake. My family is from Florida, Plant City and all that little area. These was on cards, postcards. Still hanging on, copyrighted. This was in 1905, published by Naffield and Brother, Knoxville, Tennessee. Just like I showed y'all, all those Kentucky banks and all that, that's in New York. All that damn money they made off slavery. They say, forget the land, let me get these slaves. Let me get these niggas, excuse my candor. During the Jim Crow period, it was common for black children to be shown without clothes on postcard. trade card and posters. This postcard was copyrighted in 1905. Oh, so black little kids walking around butt ass naked, huh? Listen to this. Natural results. The screams of the ravaged daughters of the sunny South have placed the Negro in the lowest rank of the beast kingdom. The Bible and divine revelation, as well as reason, all teach that the Negro is not human. These are pages 338 and 39 in Charles Carroll's The Negro a Beast. This what the fuck, excuse my candor, when I be telling people, don't come to me with that Negro, black, African-American beast shit and be like, oh, wait, because it's all synonymous with the same thing. And we be out here playing and your own people be playing. They're all gonna laugh at you. And that's what they be doing. Talking about historian stuff and they historians. No, they not. They playing. Biblical and scientific facts demonstrating that the Negro is not an offspring of the Adamic family. Christ, the Son of God. Man was created in the image of God. Is the Negro in the image of God's Son, Christ? Look at it. Look. You tell. I ain't making this up. And see, this what was written, and this what all that false image shit, and we let propaganda be out there in our face. And I come from academia, man. That shit be destroyed in 1.2 seconds. In 1.2 seconds on all levels. Just like I destroyed Alex Haley with that goddamn root shit, and that shit was plagiarized from a European named Harold Colander, and Harold Colander made all that goofy ass shit up. All of it. Every last one. You want me to tell you something else? Just like the rapper Talib Kweli, they all be talking about some goddamn Willie Lynch. Well, they are goofy as hell too, because it ain't no motherfucking Willie Lynch letter. I did that in scholarship, my oral dissertation, blew that shit out the water. All my professors was like, I don't know where your people get that from. The main my motherfucking people passing that goofy ass shit on. If it's a Willie Lynch letter, show me in the motherfucking Library of Congress where the letter at. Motherfucking lying. Ain't one. Wasn't nobody in first century Lynch, no slaves in first century wrote about no Lynch, none of that shit. And black, all that shit in the first century was not used to describe ethnicity. We already illuminated that shit years ago. So propaganda. Want more propaganda? Africa wasn't named after no European. So when Negroes put that fucking goofy ass video out talking about, look, Africa was named after a European. All pseudo. Them niggas made millions off that goofy shit. No, Africa wasn't named after no motherfucking European. I don't know where you got that line ass shit from. That ain't no scholarship. It's always propaganda. When you want to blame somebody that don't look like you. All false narratives. Just like in the Congo with Patrice Lumumba. Man, listen, they ain't had that much power to take over the Congo. Your own people be overthrowing you. That's how that shit be working. Big facts, man. I love everybody that did righteous things. But when you bring shit to your people and you call yourself a scholar off the top, to me, that's premeditated. To me, that's fraudulent concealment in a court of law. What? Knowing you lie like a motherfucker. Off the dribble. And you think everybody's so stupid. That's what I'm saying. Shit. Don't be mad at me. Don't y'all remember the story, The Negro Boy and the Apes? An interesting picture of a Negro boy with a young chimpanzee's left side figure and young Ang-Wooten right side of the figure. I'll show you the book. I got the documentaries. When they was trying to say that shit in college, I got all the documentaries. Live shit. They put that boy in there with cages with monkeys and shit. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Our blind date should be here any minute now. Look, this is what they promulgated. So can't nobody tell me I'm doing something wrong. I'm showing you what you got. So don't be out here playing no games. Let's look at the 1930s object may have been used to mock the Negro League baseball players. Look what they got. Monkey Negro League baseball player. Figurines and shit. This is an Obama monkey doll made in 2008. It's in a museum. Are you talking about what? Look, this is an Obama shirt in the museum. This is what people did. This is what people motherfuckers do. Shit sold millions. Are you talking about hateful people? What type of people do shit like that? Remember in the cartoons, all and Bugs Bunny, everything, all that? They had the little black or anything like that, big ass lips. Always batting their eyes and shit, big as hell, licking their lips and shit. Look at the little boy in the tree. You see him? That's how they mocked him. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Watermelon. Always dancing, smack your hands. Always. All that slap happy shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Always having watermelons and shit as a mockery. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. These postcards. Look at this shit. So can nobody tell me if I ain't making that up? I take you right to the museum, the physical museum, and you ain't seen shit. Oh, you think them ain't people, these Europeans in blackface right here that I'm pointing out right here. These Europeans in blackface. Look. Don't be mad at what I'm showing you. I'm when I go to the museum, I'm gonna show you. Yeah. Are we gonna act like that stupid as hell? And see who in the middle, the overseer. This postcard is postmarked Britain, a small, mostly white suburb near Detroit. This postcard has no other identifying information. The story of how Rice created their character that would make him famous is part legend and part truth. In 1828, Rice worked at the Louisville Theater playing run-of-the-mill parts. According to some stories, it was while in Louisville that he happened upon an elderly enslaved black man crooning an odd melody and doing a circus shuffling step each time he reached the chorus of the little song. The words to the song included the refrain, first on the head tap, D on the toe. Every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. Wheel about and turn about and do just so. And every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. That's what he was singing. Hey, here it is. I'm going to show y'all. Enjoy yourselves. Eccentric Coon Song. Words by Dave Reed Jr. Sung with great success by the two real coons, William and Walker. The Coon Song. Music by Chaz B. Word, composer of the band. Played on I'll Make That Black Gal Mine, Crush Violet's Waltz, She's My Warm Baby, etc. New York, published by the T.B. Harms and Company. 18 East 22nd Street, London. Francis Day and Hunter, 142 Charing Cross Road. That's them in blackface. Doing they jig. Doing they jig. Doing they jig. I don't go to y'all. You think I'm playing? I feel look at this postcard. Look. Postcard. But watch this. I'm going to show y'all. Look at this right here. This is European. He got famous off this. Look at this shit. And you ain't go. And like I said, man. Now let me narrate this. Listen to this. Al Jolson, born Asa Yulson, May 26, 1886, October 23, 1950, was a singer, film actor, and comedian. At the peak of his career, he was dubbed the world's greatest entertainer. Jolson owed much of his fame and fortune to his blackface performances. So if he wasn't blackface, he wouldn't be shit. The negative association of blacks with watermelons was an established part of American culture by the late 1800s, and it had flourished as a stereotype by the late 1900s. The blacks loved watermelon story was cemented in the culture, in part with the development of film, which from its beginning portrayed blacks as being obsessed with watermelons. The Watermelon Contest, 1896, was the first of many short films, 17-second long, showing black people greedily consuming watermelons. The film was remade as Watermelon Contest 1900 because so many copies of the original were struck that it damaged the negatives. It was extended to over a minute. A Watermelon Feast, 1896, produced by American Motoscope, showed a black family reliving in a feast. They smashing on the feast of the favorite food of their race, eating watermelon for a prize. 1903 was a free-for-all showing black men eating, fighting, and washing with watermelons. In Who Said Watermelons in 1903, an old black man is happy because he was a big watermelon. but his happiness turned to sadness when a group of boys tried to steal the watermelon. These very short films focus on single scenes, single racist scenes. The Watermelon Patch, 1905, is a 10.5-minute kinescope film. It begins with several black men crawling on their hands and knees as they steal watermelons from a patch, and behind them are two scarecrows. Unbeknownst to the thieves, the scarecrows are really white men in disguise. The black men are so obsessed with the watermelons that they do not realize they have entered a trap. The white men shed their scarecrow clothing, revealing skeleton suits. The black men, fearing the skeletons, have come to life, run through the woodlands, cornfields, and dirt roads, several of them carrying watermelons. Y'all know how it goes. The sheet music for a Malcolm Williams composition was produced in 1899. The song was often advertised as a coon tune carnival. A coon tune carnival. A coon tune carnival. Shit, man. Here go another stereotype card. It's from 1897. One of the many popular cultural images that portray black people as watermelon thieves. And see here, you have the old white man out here with the black man out there like he stealing watermelon. And they shooting him. It's all in the museum. That's why, man, this is for education purposes only. Don't be mad at me. Y'all want to see something else? Here go a newspaper supplement appeared in New York, American and Journal, 1902. It shows Bert Williams, the well-known African-American, performing in blackface, makeup, and a coon costume. You heard me? Y'all heard me clear? You heard me clear. Here go a nigga, excuse my candor, African-American one. Y'all can say that in blackface back then too. Now your skin already black, coon. So what's the whole purpose of putting on blackface? You're already blackface per se. I'm just telling you how they say get out there and make a mockery of this. As sung by Williams and Walker in Dunbar and Cook's opera in The Homie, published by permission of Harry Von Tilzer, Music Publishing Company, owners of the copyright. See? Here go another trade card from 1882. You got the little girl in a watermelon. Hey man, I'm sorry. When I saw all this, man, I got so many books. And look, the couriers, all these places, all these museums, when I be writing them, and when I be calling, when I be getting all these documents, they be amazed. I'm telling you, they be giving me so much stuff. I be cracking up. I say, y'all have no idea. No idea. I mean, I got stuff from the Louisiana Museum showing you two documents of the Louisiana Purchase and the map, all that stuff, how Morocco and Jerusalem, Egypt, all that shit, walking distance, south up top, north at bottom, all facts. I don't know what people be talking about because ain't nobody purchased nothing. Here go a trade card. Look. I'm putting that on a shirt. Hey, I'm putting that on a shirt. Woo! I'm rocking that. Oh, yeah, I'll put that on a hoodie. Listen to this. This is the sheet music for one of the most popular coon songs of 1880. Notice the bully's dandified dress, the chicken, and the oversized straight razor. Right? I mean, I can go on and on with all this stuff. And this is just one of the books, man. I mean, I show you how they was bleaching. There were sisters in the continent was bleaching their skin for decades. When I be telling y'all the European agree with me, they be like, well, he just telling y'all history. Like, what y'all mad at? Like, it's your fault you don't study history. You just a little nigga. Still use mine. All mine. Oh man, you hear that verse? That's the song. You just a little nigga, still use mine, all mine, little baby. Hey, look, words and music by Paul Dresser, author and composer of Just Tell Them That You Saw Me on the Banks of the Wabash Far Away, Howley and Haviland and Company. That's who it's published by. 1260 to 1266 Broadway, New York. Chash Sheard and Company, London. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 brothers singing. I guess this respectfully dedicated to Mr. Benjamin A. Jefferson, Chicago. So I wonder if they dedicate this to this European and got these 4 brothers over here singing to my man up top. I have to do a little bit more research on that. Because you got the 4 brothers down here singing, yeah, you just my nigga, you just a little nigga, still you my baby, but you so I don't know how that go. I don't know who the guy is up top. Let me do a little narrating. Because it's in there. You just a little nigger, still use mine, all mine. Words and music by Paul Dresser, New York, Haviland. So Paul Dresser, it's just my man up top. Cause like I say, they really don't care about the 2, 1, 2, 3, the 4 jickaboos at the bottom. No disrespect. Hey man, I'm just having fun, man. I'm just giving you history. Come on, right? 10 little nigger boys. Y'all want to hear it? 10 little nigger boys. Look, man, this ain't me making this stuff up. This ain't me making this stuff up, y'all. Y'all want to hear the song? 8 little nigger boys traveling in Devon. One said he stayed there, and then there were 7. 7 little nigger boys chopping up sticks. One chopped himself in half, and there were 6. 6 little nigger boys playing in the hive. A bumblebee stung one, and then there were 5. 5 little nigger boys going for the law. One got chancery, and then there was fall. 4 little nigger boys going out to sea. A red herring swallowed one, and there were 3 little nigger boys walking in the zoo. The big bear hugged one, and then there were 2 little nigger boys sitting in the sun. One got frizzled up, and then there was 1 little nigger boy living all alone. He got married, and then there were none. The book was published by Juvenile Productions, London, and it's undated. All the copyright, well, you can look this stuff up. It's just like books and ISBNs. When Morris be lying, talk about this, and they did this. And I say, okay, now I'm going to look it up, and it's the Precedent in Law, doc number, Free Information Act, and I'm going to show you how people be lying right in your face. I don't know who they be thinking they be playing with. I'm like, okay, your whole case is looked up. What are you talking about? You still doing criminal stuff. And you on bail. You got a bail bondsman. Look, Uncle Tom's Cabin. I'm just showing y'all some things. And it's so much, man. I mean, it's really so much. Just like America being the latest and most accurate description of the New World. When it narrates all this stuff in history, man. So as I close out, that's what I'll be telling Morris. If you really want to learn, the only way you can learn is be a student, and I teach systematically. Like right now, say if you was on the college campus, and like the students when I go on college and lecture, I'll lecture on a specific topic. They just there to hear me lecture on a specific topic. They're students, and if they're struggling, most of them are under my auspices. I help people study, and I do lectures. And my brothers and sisters, that's Morris, we at Temple in the school. I teach Sunday school, and I teach adapt class where we do history, civics, and law. And that's the only way a person can learn. And that's my only advice to a person, because I don't have a magical trick. It ain't you signing no piece of paper and you're going to walk around. Just think about this. If you think you're a sovereign citizen, I'll ask you to explain to me how you're a sovereign citizen. As I close, a person couldn't even explain that to you. How the hell can an individual be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time? That's an oxymoron. Then so what's next? What? Oh, this. You got your tribal place, and you a national. Don't no national have no goofy ass tribal plate. What are you talking about? You ain't no national. You ain't never been out your neighborhood. You don't have allegiance alliance with no one else. Then you hear this criminal noise about some. You're going to expatriate from this de facto government. Well, if you're going to expatriate from the de facto government, then once again, who you have allegiance with did. Now you know what you are? A goofy ass domestic terrorist. So now what? Who told you to do that? I'll wait. People be lying to you. Oh, there ain't no more. This ain't no more American ID. This is a more American travel document. And can you use that to get out the country? People be lying when they get somewhere and hold it up. That shit is false. And if that is real, wouldn't that tell you something about the whole system? That it's all fugazi? If somebody at home can play with you and make up some shit and say this is a more American travel ID with a whole bunch of people in there, I'm using things for scholarship and comparing. See, that's why you can't push it out here and say this is law and talk to a whole bunch of ignorant people. Man, I can get anybody that don't got nothing to do with more science or nothing and tell you like you the one been played. Because none of that shit mean nothing. Okay, so if it's not if it's not a passport, what is it? It's a more American travel document. To do what? So tell me one. Is that abiding by the teachings of Noble Durali if you follow the true teachings pertaining to our divine creed and bylaws that anybody can look up? Nope. Because our idea is for your salvation. Fair to obey these orders would be of severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these orders are violated, justice must then take its course. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans and causing confusion. If you don't want to obey these orders, go back to the place where the prophet found you. Return your card, turban, start wearing your fez, and do what the hell you want to. Your idea is for your salvation. That shit don't replace nothing. So why would somebody you meet on the internet telling you you need to spend $400, $500, $600, $700, whatever, on some goddamn more American travel document? Tell me why you need that. Somebody with some fucking sense that's on here. And tell me why would you need that? Tell me why. And don't tell me it worked no kinda. Because that if you tell me something that really tell me people playing with you. You don't need nothing to work kinda. Tell me that you don't show you going through TSA and all that with that. You don't got no ID and all that. Talk about you done. See, all this shit, let me tell you, the playbook is old. Or we called them and put them on alert. You ain't called nobody and put shit on the motherfucking alert. That's nigga talk too. If you got that shit, go through TSA live like you do anything with that. And try to get out of the country. And I guarantee you, if you get out of the country, you stuck. With that shit. Ask Moss Def, a.k.a. Hassim Bey, with that world passport. Ask these brothers. People don't even be telling people the real. I be like, man, y'all got to be crazy. Because people don't be, let me tell you what else. I showed y'all the look. Let me tell y'all another book get Morris in trouble. What did I say? Let me see if I got it right here for y'all. I thought I had it right over here. Damn. Oh, y'all lucky I ain't got it out. Woo. I can't find it. I ain't gonna go on there, but it's one of them UCC books that everybody like, and you can go on YouTube and see this goofy ass lady getting pulled over. Talk about, they owe me $10,000, and she got that goofy ass UCC book. And I said, man, we definitely don't know how to read, cause I don't know what these people be reading. I really don't. It be showing you how crazy our people are. And you got all these people around, I want to be a more because them more, it's a group of people that don't pay taxes. And they can ride around with houses and all this goofy shit. No. All them people be going to jail. A lot of these motherfuckers be running to China. Y'all don't know that? Now you can pull up, you listen. Man, these brothers, most of them brothers is criminals. People be squatting. Why would you want to take your family and squat in the house and don't understand all the laws and then get yourself in trouble and don't know the law? I be telling people, let me tell you something, explain how when people think they can squat in houses, and I tell you how if you play around with me, you ain't even got to worry about that. Because I ain't calling the police. That's number one. But if I have to, let me show you how simple this shit is. If you got any sense. And when people be having incompetent lawyers and things, and that's why I be laughing at my own people when I say the reason you lost, because you're not dealing with your own kind that can assist and throw you an alley-oop when you're dealing with business, when you're dealing with precedent. when you're dealing with law cases and doc numbers and free information that can guide you to the right place. And I'll be telling people, they be like, well, what you mean? I say, dude, if you got property and somebody squatting your house and you talk about you got to evict them, you done said the wrong language. Remember, in the court of law, it's science. That ain't no eviction. I ain't got no contract with no goddamn squatter. It ain't no tenant, no landlord lease. It ain't no for when you go on with that. And if an attorney or whoever, if you follow some paperwork talking about you got to evict somebody, you just admitted non-verbally on paper that this motherfucker is a tenant. How? I don't care if you can say they ain't. Now you got to go through all that long ass legal motherfucking shit to get them out. I'm telling you, off facts and off law, that ain't the paperwork I'm following. And I ain't got to give up all the information. Everybody know, if you understand, if you connect it, then you know that. And that's what I be telling people when they say, oh, squatters got rights. No, the fuck they don't. Look at the video I showed the other day in Florida. That ain't shit. You ain't got no right. You can come and squat in my shit all you want to. You come in and you'll be right soon because you're gonna be out that bitch the next day. Or as soon as we find out, off the dribble. And we want to do it the right way. Because we don't want to hurt nobody, especially no goofy Negro in there with their family and their kids. I can show y'all all video with these goofies be squatting in houses and these people be owning the houses and they be following the right paperwork and the police be coming and all that and they be in there with their kids with illegal water, illegal electricity, all that shit. And then let me tell you another law, how I tell the truth on everything because it's devil's advocate and everything. Okay, so say you in the community and I use like Detroit because I know how people be squatting in houses in Detroit and I'm from Flint, Michigan. So say you in a misnomer black community. And these people own their houses, but you squatting in a house in a neighborhood that yes, somebody own, but they can't find the motherfucking landlords or nobody to own house to even file a charge or anything. So just because the neighbors might be pissed the motherfucking off, it's your word against mine. And if I'm in there and if I got some fake ass shit, nobody else can't say it ain't real. They can't. So I'm talking about all these variables in it as well. But I'm talking about if this is your property and it's yours and you might have left out and somebody's squatting into your shit like in the city of Flint or Detroit or anywhere and somebody that's jumping your shit and they think they can just squat in your house. If that's the case, I can park my car and I can be gone at the airport. You can jump on this motherfucker like, I found it. I found it. It's bandit. It's a bandit. I found it. You ain't found shit, goofy. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. And that stuff is not more science. And that's what I be asking more is please stay away from that stuff. None of that stuff is going to do you no good. Nobody should be trying to get you to get some ID. And they whole claim to fame is they finna nationalize you. Can't nobody nationalize you. It's in the Exhumed of the Nation. They sell Exhumed of the Nation on Amazon for $2.30. I got a PDF for y'all for $75. You can download it on your tablet. Go to Office Max and Staples. It's like 600 pages. Like I said, I used to print them for people. The other day, the lecture, I think one Noble donated $40, got it. And then after the lecture, 5 dudes hit me up, was like, Noble, can I send you $40? I said, no, you got to go to my PDF books and get it for $75. You still getting it for a deal, but you missed the deal. And that's what I be telling people. We'll miss the boat. Why? Being cheap. But I promise y'all, man, can't nobody nationalize you or denationalize you. Nobody on the internet can print you some paperwork and you think that's something, you still the same person you are. Your social security number the same. That paperwork ain't registered nowhere and no consulate nowhere. That shit is in somebody's goddamn house and they some bonds and you just a goddamn number. And they got all your information, your social security number, address, all that. Some goofball you met on the internet. Tell the truth, y'all. Tell the truth, because you ain't went to no consulate building. You ain't went to no office and went to and did no amnesty oath or even went to the temple that established or even became a member and a student under us and proclaimed, declaring how due process, how we put it on the record, and you have member ID. And on your member and student ID is your national ID, which who you say you are. It don't replace a damn thing. All that other stuff is fugazi. And that's what I tell people. They say, it's my Moorish American, it's my tribe, my tribal ID. And I say, okay, you hanging yourself. What tribe are you? Oh, a Moorish American. I ask you, what's your nationality? Because a whole bunch of people identify as Moors or Moorish American. You said it's your tribal ID. So where your tribe? Where your tribal leader? Where is that on the books? Just like people say they belong to a temple or a church or this and that. Okay, well, prove it. Now, for on the record, we finna get everything on the record. And what we finna get on the record? You lying. We're gonna get you on the record being a fucking liar with all that fake paperwork, some Sundry Moore Act, some shit that you printed, some goofy shit. You put Sundry Moore Act, you put the AA22 number on there, you put some goddamn Zodiac Law, some CM Bay goofy ass shit on your motherfucking ID. Talk about you some horse of the world, some Sundry Moore Act, some goddamn Clock of Destiny, some AAA22 number. That ain't nothing but a goddamn registry in the Library of Congress. You can look up that shit. CMB, that shit don't mean nothing, y'all. I hope we know this clear. I want y'all to know this and just be careful. That's all I'm telling y'all. Be very careful as adults and analyze things. And remember, when people get caught up in cases today, you can look this shit up. Just like you got to get out of that public opinion, talk about Moors fighting for your rights. No, you got to look at this shit. All these people be talking all this big bad wolf shit, but they be pleading to lesser charges, and they be having court-appointed attorneys, and they be having bail bondsmen, and they be jumping bail, and they be pushing their court date back, and they be talking about all that speedy trial stuff. And now they shaking in their boots. And I ask everybody, a lot of them that's been in that, and you got to analyze things. Before you was doing that and to now, how have your life changed? Has it changed for the better or have it changed for the goddamn worse? And every last one of them say, man, it changed for the worse. But everybody on the sideline will be barking, talking shit, and nobody be there. Nobody be there defending them, talk about, oh, they in court with them. And I say, dude, nobody wasn't there. The only people that can talk about it and be eyewitnesses is the people that there. Now, when you sign things and when you be talking behind the paper, remember, that's public information. That's President-in-law cases, doc number, and the Free Information Act. That's what I tell people. You can't get rid of that. So you can talk all that stuff a person wants to, and you just look it up. And it'll tell you what people sign. That's why I don't say names. Just like I tell y'all, the lady that got arrested on TV, and they be talking about they got some POW paperwork to get people out of jail, and they some Sharifian officer. I said, and I just look at people and I say, man, y'all can't be that damn stupid. I said, not y'all grown people, man. Not y'all grown people still following all these people like, oh, well, Norbert Ali was in jail, Malcolm was in jail. I said, man, not for this shit, man. No. The work already been done. So after all this shit, you got to tell me the purpose. What's the meaning? Ain't nobody, because none of them motherfuckers still ain't got no magical money at the end of the rainbow. Your Social Security connected to $1 million. Show me any niggas got millions. I'll wait. I know plenty of women that got down with that shit. Oh, well, we can cut our power off and don't pay our bills and all this. This is my land, all this. I can show you where they at. And they had generators in the neighborhood. I can show you where the fuck they at. The goddamn state came in. So all them brothers that be there are making all them videos that saying they protect the people in them goddamn G.I. Joe outfits like they security. When it come down to the come down, why the women be getting their kids took by protective fucking service? Huh? See, people ain't gonna tell you the stories. Kids be going to school talking about, well, my mommy, she's a Moor, she's a sovereign citizen, and we don't have water and electricity. And my mommy digged a hole in the backyard, and I poop in the backyard. And they go to school with that shit. I'm telling you, and I ain't gonna say names. I'll be like, dude, these people is out there fucking rockers. I'm telling you, big facts. I know Moors be living in their cars, be doing all that shit, and then they live in a certain area. Nobody rent to them because they ain't nothing but renters. And then they women be on Section 8, so that from the state, so they can get no rent. They be living in their cars. I know a whole bunch of them motherfuckers out here in Arizona. People be lying. That's what I be telling y'all. Be careful, man. Be careful. Can't nobody nationalize you. It ain't no Moorish American Counselor. It ain't no group of Moors going around nationalizing nobody. All that shit fake. It ain't no whole bunch of counselors. It's only one prophet, it's only one temple. You got to tell me how somebody nationalized you. You got to tell me how somebody nationalized you and what ID you need from somebody you met on the internet if they don't have a temple and a school. You don't need no travel ID from nobody. Tell me what that piece of paper gonna do for you instead of you becoming a member and a student and learning and being a part of something and really learning from a teacher, a guide, a sheet, a map, and being a light everywhere you go. Not talk about trying to overthrow no fucking government. Because read your divine creed and your bylaws. Just read it. And then you can tell me, are we here to overthrow some government? That shit is very, very simple. Hell no. That ain't how we operate. So, like I said, man, if anybody want these 3 books today, this is what I'm offering for only a $40 donation to Cash App $KG Stolen Legacy, Peter Lambert Wilson Sacred Gift. Oh, and another aha moment, Peter Lambert Wilson, a.k.a. is Hakeem Bey, the European that made all the Moorish Paradigm journals. I got them all. I'll show you the whole Moorish Paradigm journals. It's by this European Jew, Peter Lambert Wilson. So if anybody be lying to you, confusing you, talk about the Moorish Paradigm journals is by the brother Hakeem Bey, because it is a melanated Moorish brother named Hakeem Bey. I think that made a whole bunch of older videos. You know, he say some good stuff and whatever. But Peter Lambert Wilson is the Hakeem Bey that wrote all the Moorish Paradigms. Big facts. And also, White Cargo, only for a $40 donation. Cash App $KG Bay. Make sure you leave your email address so I can send it right to you. I love everybody, man. Happy Holy Day. Happy whatever day you call it. Happy whatever day you call it, man. But I love everyone, man. Thanks for everybody for taking an hour out their day. And like I said, we're here to learn. And more science is for the family. And don't nobody have no magical card. Can't nobody make you something. Just because you're more don't mean you know master no damn NFT. All that stuff. It's just not what it is, Morris. So I want us to be careful what we're doing, and I love y'all in peace.